Welcome to today's video. This week we are making a giant dream catcher with feathers and gems and anything I can think to throw on it. I will be using this big wreath as the main part and then little dangly mini dream catchers dangling off of it. This is the first part. There might potentially be 3 parts, hopefully only 2, we'll see. This first part, I'm making the little dangly dream catcher bits for the bigger one, which is going to be that wreath up in the corner there. To try to make them match a little bit more because they are just silver metal, I'm wrapping some dark brown and tan yarn around it. And then at the very top, I'm tying it in a nice secure knot and then twisting the strands together. You can look up dream catchers on a search engine like Google or something, and you'll see a lot of really cool dream catchers. Some have like bones, some are like really cool colors. Lots of them have like really intricate, like, I don't know what to call it, webbing in the center of the circles. That's where I got the idea to put the gems in the centers of my dream catchers. I've never really made dream catchers before. I've attempted them, and that was a long time ago when I had absolutely zero idea of how to make one. I just tried to figure it out on my own. And I mean, I'm still kind of doing that now, but I have a better understanding of how they are made. I probably should have done a quick Google search to figure out how exactly they're made so that I could like be teaching you properly how to make them. But I mean, this works. And I mean, I'm Native American. This should come naturally to me, right? Just wrapping them around and tucking the string under and making sure it's in the right spot. It kind of ties itself into the little spots. And this is a very tiny hoop, so it's not going to be as intricate as like a bigger one could be. After I finished my first go-around, I tried to start the second go-around, and I realized that I probably should have actually knotted the very beginning because it came loose because I'm dumb and I just barely tied it. So I tied it around the strap an extra time. If you've never done anything like this before, I highly recommend starting with a bigger hoop, at least a test round to get an idea of how it works. Starting with a smaller hoop is much more difficult because there's so much less space for you to work in, and like, I have tiny fingers luckily, but even having smaller hands is still harder to work with this smaller hoop. I don't want any stray strings sticking out, so every time I start a new strand, I make sure that I leave enough at the beginning and enough at the end to wrap it around the tail that I'll be hanging this part from. That way it's a very uniform look. I highly recommend that you don't do what I did and wrap them as you go. You leave all the extra strings loose until the very end, and then just braid them all together probably, or wrap them all together if you know how to twist them. I think that would probably be the easiest and the most uniform look. Okay, not to sound like a little baby, but my left hand has been cramping so bad because of work lately. It's so hard to hold things, so I didn't want to wrap these rocks on camera because I was struggling so hard to wrap this fishing wire around these slippery little rocks. Highly recommend not doing that combo. I would get jagged rocks, or maybe just carve little divots in the top and bottom of your little rock. And I wanted to use fishing wire because it was clear, but I highly recommend you don't use it because it's really hard to tie and it likes to slip off. But anyway, I'm just gonna make a few more of these and then we'll continue the second part tomorrow. Good luck with your crafting. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you later.